Welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to be looking at the introduction to computing, which is unit 1. So our first question says, what does digital literacy primarily involve? So digital literacy involves acquiring. So literacy has to do with acquiring knowledge. So the acquiring current knowledge of the computers, mobile devices, and the web. So that is what we call digital literacy. So you are acquiring not just any information, but current information or current knowledge of computers. Number 2, a digital citizen is someone. So if someone is a digital citizen, it means to say they know how to use the technology to become educated. That's number 1. Become educated and productive member of the digital world. They are able to contribute. Then that will be a digital citizen. So number 2, the answer is B. Our number 3, which of the following describes a computer? So what is a computer? So a computer, number 1, is an electronic device that operates under the instructions and stores memory. So that is basically what a computer is. So a computer is not only a mechanical calculator or anything. It can be a mechanical calculator, but not only. It could have other things. So it is an electronic device that operates under instructions stored in memory. Number 4, what is the primary function of memory in a computer? So the primary function of memory is to store instructions, data, and processing results temporarily. So if you have to do with memory, it simply means to say you are storing that information for a temporal period of time, so that those instructions and data can be processed and also be executed. So the answer for question 4 is B. Question 5, which device can save files to users over a network? So the device that can save files over a network are servers. So servers are used for cloud storage. So if, let's say, you have a laptop, you can actually upload things on the server. Like, for example, so if you have, let's say, the laptop, then these are servers. So these servers store information in such a way that you can send, let's say, a photo you have on your PC, you can send it to the internet so that it can be stored on the cloud. So these are able to store that information, so that, let's say, you forget your PC, you just go to with your phone from one town to another town, then you can access that same photo using the servers that store that information. Question 6, Wi-Fi provides. Wi-Fi means wireless fidelity, and many of us know what Wi-Fi is. So Wi-Fi provides wireless high-speed data connection. Number 7, what is a network? So a network is a collection of 2 or more computers connected to share resources. Like, let's say if we have this computer, let me use because let's say we have this computer, and this computer. If these are connected, they can be connected sometimes by a cable. Then they form what we call the internet, because they are now able to share resources. They are able to share resources. They are able to share hardware. For example, they can share documents from computer A. It can be sent as document from doc A to from here. You can even send, if this is B, you can send another document to C, which is your doc B, and all that. So an internet is just the interconnection of computers. When 2 or more computers are connected to share resources, then they are termed as the internet. Number 8, big data refers to, just as the word entails, big means to say large already. So it is large and complex data resources that cannot easily be managed by traditional methods. So these are large, so they have to use modern and complex means of storing the data, because it's large. Then when we look at our number 9, which says that online social network allows users to. So remember, when we are immediately looking at social aspect, it has to do with interaction. So online has to share interests, ideas, photos and videos with registered users. Like for example, on WhatsApp, you are able to share interests, you are able to share ideas, photos and videos. So that is your answer for that one, which is our B. Number 10, what is the Internet of Things? So what is the Internet of Things? So I'll explain. So an Internet of Things is an environment where processors are embedded in products that communicate via networks. It's the internet. Remember, the internet, we are sharing resources. Now the Internet of Things, now other things are able to connect with each other. So this is very, very important as it has got an application. So this is how the Internet of Things operates. Let's say we have an alarm clock, we have the window. So now if there are chips that are embedded in these, there are chips that are embedded, maybe even here the chip is there, then here the chip is also there, then here the chip is also there. So the Internet of Things, they are able to interact with each other in such a way that, let's say in the morning, immediately the alarm rings like that. What this other chip will do is that it will immediately open the window for you, so that you can even know that it's daytime. By opening the window, then this will detect that the amount of light and the ringing of the alarm, then it will make some tea. So it will make some tea, then here it will start heating up the water so that you can use it for bathing. So that is the Internet of Things. They are able to interact with each other in order to make even human living to be easy. So as you can see, if you have a smartphone, is the best example of the Internet of Things like that. So these are able to interact with each other, the temperature reduction and all that. So in the world, there is the Internet of Things. Tablets, they are connected. We have tablets connected to each other. We have phones, we have computers, we have the TVs, we have other things. So by using the Internet of Things, even if you have moved, let's say for example, by mistake you left the heater on, at your home, but you have moved from your home to work, you can easily press or check the status of the heater. If it is on, you can press to turn it off like that. So this is a very good application. So just as we have said, an environment where processors are embedded in products. So those products, phones, TVs, heaters, electric kettles and all that, that communicate via network. The next question, which is our 11, the first generation of computers, these used vacuum tubes. So this is an example of first generation of computers that use vacuum tubes. So it can be as large as this whole thing. It was as large as this whole thing to produce many calculations such as addition and all that. For number 12, ENIAC and UNIVAC these were examples of the first generation of electronic computers. So these were examples of the first generations of computers. Looking at our number 13, Apple II was introduced by, so as you can see these names already, Elon Musk, this guy is new. So no, we have Mark Zuckerberg, no, we have Bill Gates is Microsoft. So the answer for this one is Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Then when we look at our 14, embedded computers, So just as the word entails, embed. So these are part of the larger product with a specific purpose. So these perform a specific purpose. So now this has got a lot of application in cars, in aeroplanes, in many appliances. For example, so if you look at a car, in a car there could be embedded machines. So these embedded machines, or rather embedded computers, might be embedded, they might be put in a tire to be able to detect the pressure in the tire to avoid accidents, and also a number of things. Also, it can be embedded to just see how flexible the steering is. We could also put some something that can act as a GPS to know the exact location. So these are put to promote safety and comfortability. So those are embedded. They are part of the larger product with a specific purpose. 15, smart devices. What are smart devices? So smart devices are devices that can communicate already. They are smart, so they can communicate, they can locate, they can also predict using IoT, which is the Internet of Things. So remember, they can communicate, just as we talked about them. They can locate, like for example, GPS can locate things. They can also predict using using IoT. So they can predict in the aspect that they can be able to guess the next thing because of the data that they have been fed. Moving on. So when we look at our ATMs, these are some of the examples of embedded computers and IoT applications. So these are able to interact with the bank itself, so that they can know to say this person has got let's say 2,000 in the account, 20,000 in the account. If that person wants to withdraw, let's say 21,000, it will refuse because it has communicated with the bank and all that. So it is an example of embedded computers and IoT applications. So if someone withdraws 18,000, the remaining amount after the charge, let's say it's 1,500, it will be able to show or calculate because it is connected to your bank. Number 17, we have, which industry uses sensors to monitor processes and increase quality of goods? So monitor processes already, it has to do with a company that makes things and increase quality. So a company that makes things is the manufacturing. When we look at our 18, we have the digital divide. Refers to digital divide is not for computers but for people. So it is the gap between those who have access to technology and those who do not. So it makes sense, it is digital divide. So that is basically what digital divide is. So the gap between those who have access to technology and those who do not. So this describes the inequality in access to technology and affects education, employment, and social participation. So even in education, this is a factor that more like affects the quality of education, because not everyone have got the same amount of technology or equipment. Then we have question 19. IoT can help healthcare providers. So remember, IoT is Internet of Things. So this can help healthcare providers by, number 1, connecting. So number 19, the Internet of Things can connect wearable monitors and sending prescription updates. So medicine is not static. There could be changes in how we handle certain cases depending on the innovations and the advancement in technology of a disease, cure and all that. So IoT can help healthcare providers because these are always connected to the internet, so they know what exactly is trending and what is new. So they are used in connecting wearable monitors and sending prescription updates. Number 20, kiosks like ATMs are kiosks again. So ATMs. So ATMs, remember, they have IoT features, most of them, and they are also standalone. Let's say if this is a wall, sometimes they might just be standalone. They are not connected to the wall like that. So they are standalone booths that often includes IoT. Let's look at our next one, which is our 21. So just in case you're wondering why the answer is not only used in banks, because kiosks are a lot of types. We might have retail kiosks. Retail kiosks can be used to buy food. We have ticketing kiosks, those that deal with tickets such as bus tickets. We might have a lot of kiosks. So these are freestanding booths that often include the Internet of Things features. Then when we look at privacy, this is a simple definition. So privacy is the state of being free from public attention according to your choice. So as long as you choose to be free, that is what we call privacy. Privacy is just the state of being free from public attention according to your choice. 22, identity theft. So if we are looking at theft, someone is stealing someone's personal information for frauds. That is identity, personal information. So theft has to do with stealing like that. 23, dumpster diving. What is dumpster diving? So a dumpster is where we throw rubbish or unused things. So dumpster diving is defined as someone has thrown the information or has thrown things. So you decide to retrieve the documents discarded, meaning to say they have thrown things away. So you're retrieving discarded documents to steal personal information. Then our 24, phishing attacks attempt to. So phishing has to do with sending false or fake information in order to deceive someone into giving you their information, like an email to say you have won 20,000. Enter your email and bank account is an example of a phishing attempt. So they can even put shops, reputable shops such as ShopRite, in order for them to get your information. So phishing has to do with tricking someone into revealing their personal information. Then when we look at pretexting, what is pretexting? So you can just think of pretexting as pretending. So pretexting has to do with you pretending to be someone legitimate in order to get personal information. So that is basically what pretexting is. So if someone, this might involve a number of things, such as creating a fake scenario in order for them to get some information from you. So they can create a fake scenario in order for them to get information. If, let's say, coincidentally that scenario ends up touching you, you might reveal certain information. Like, for example, they might bring a message to say you recently applied to this company, send your details and all that. This is the boss or the managing director and all that. Then that is what we call pretexting. You are pretending to be someone legitimate, who is, meaning to say the real deal in order to get personal information. 26, to protect privacy online, you should. So to protect privacy, you have to, number one, the passwords. You have to update the passwords and also look at your accounts. So make sure that you review all the financial statements and enable privacy settings, because for most financial statements, your password, you always enter your password. So you have to check if they hack this. Most of the times, then they have hacked everything. So you must be able to check your financial accounts and enable privacy settings. Number 27, netiquette refers to, so etiquette first. Etiquette has to do with good acceptable behaviors. Now netiquette has to do with the rules of the internet etiquette for acceptable behavior. So just the word net has to do with the internet. So netiquette has to do with the rules of the internet etiquette for acceptable behavior. 28, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is an act that is done online. So it is done online on platforms such as WhatsApp. It can be done on WhatsApp. It can be done on TikTok, Instagram, among other things. So bullying is done using digital devices and platforms. Number 29, acceptable use policies are, so already acceptable use policies. Which ones are the acceptable use policies? So those are the documents explaining rules and consequences for using digital resources. What are some of the rules? Acceptable use policies. This is where you open the full document. It explains each and everything that you need, which most of us, we just go on agree without reading. So those are acceptable use policies. So the answer here is A. Number 30, Turnitin is used to, so Turnitin is something that is used to prevent what we call plagiarism. Plagiarism has to do with stealing information, let's say from the internet, to make it as if it is yours. Like for example, you are writing an assignment, then you just get a full text or a book from the internet and paste it and submit as your assignment. That's how you get a 0. So now that is Turnitin. So Turnitin is used to detect plagiarism in submitted work by checking assignments, by comparing with what is on the web. So with Turnitin, they are able to detect the internet. They are able to detect if it is AI generated or it is just you who was writing, in order to give marks on an assignment. So Turnitin is basically done to empower students to do their best and original work. So it is used in order to prevent laziness in this world of increasing AI. So by using Turnitin, they are able to prevent plagiarism, so copying information and not acknowledging the source, pretending as if the information is genuinely just yours, but you just copied. When we look at an intelligent workplace, so already intelligent has to do with the ability to communicate, to connect, and be able to collaborate. Collaborate simply means to work together. So an intelligent workplace has to be able to uses the technology in order to connect with employees. So employees are able to connect, communicate, and collaborate, which is to work together. Our 32, learning management systems help students. So learning management system helps students too. So what are they? So learning management systems are the types of systems that provides tools for education. It also helps in tracking and online application and online interaction. So that is what we refer to as learning management systems. So this is important as it helps in monitoring grades, monitoring grades, take practice tests, and communicate with instructors. Through this system of the learning management systems, monitoring grades is possible, practicing tests, and communications with instructors. Then when we look at our next one, we have our 33, telemedicine. So what is telemedicine? So already tele has to do with the devices, then medicine. So telemedicine is more like the medicine that is associated with prescribing or giving diagnostics or treating patients remotely via technology. So when we say remotely, we simply mean to say it can be done anywhere, from anywhere you are. You can just prescribe certain medicine to someone by just an interaction of how they are feeling and all that. So that is what telemedicine is. So diagnosing and treating patients remotely via technology. Number 34, computer-aided manufacturing. So you are manufacturing things using the computer. Now, why is that? So when mostly when you are doing things and it is very dangerous for human life. Like for example, humans die a lot from those things. You will tend to use computers to do it in place of humans to prevent deaths. So computer-aided manufacturing uses robots to perform dangerous, monotonous tasks. Our 35, career networking websites like LinkedIn helps users to. So already career has to do with looking for a job. Career networking websites. So these websites help showcase your talents. What are some of the skills that you have? So it helps showcase talents, connect with potential employers. So people can employ you just by looking at your talent. So the answer for this one is B. Our 36, GPS in transportation helps. So GPS is a tracking tool that is used to track packages to avoid traffic and ensure driver safety. So with GPS, you are going to know exactly where someone is for safety, to avoid traffic and ensure that the packages are delivered. So this is an example of GPS. You can tell where someone is coming from and where they are going. If let's say they are going like that, you can tell. Then the packages, it can show you the slots where this person is and where is the destination, which is here. So it helps in delivery tracking, and if the driver is safe, it means to say he will continue driving and all that. So M healthcare is mobile healthcare. So what is M healthcare? So this refers to already it has to be related with health. So it is the mobile healthcare using smartphones, tablets, and cloud stored data. What data do you have on the cloud, or rather stored remotely? We have discussed about the cloud. So that is M health. Then when we look at our 38, online productivity software allows. So online productivity software allows a lot of things. It is not only teachers to grade papers, but it allows number one, collaborative editing, where you can be able to edit documents with a lot of people. Then you can have document sharing. Through these online productivity softwares, you are able to share information or data with one another. And also the submission via what we call email, which is the electronic mail, which shows as your Gmail. Like for example, Manda Steven 23 at gmail.com. So it is sent via the email like that. Number 39, 3D printers in healthcare are used for So 3D printers are used for, number one, in health. They are used in making skin. So remember, 3D printers are those that make things real life objects. They do not print on paper, but real life objects. So they are used through the use of computers in making skins, prosthetics, and casts. So prosthetics are those that have to do with supportive gear, such as, let's say, if someone's leg is damaged and all that, then they have to replace. They use a prosthetic leg or hand to be able to move around. We could have other supportive things such as casts. Casts are used to support, let's say, if you have the hand in place in case you were experiencing anything such as an accident and all that. So that those are what we call casts. Then number 40 says that smart devices with IoT apps can be able to remember. So we are still going back to the same things. So they can control home functions, just as we talked about, like thermostats. In maintaining the temperature, that's where the thermostats will work. And also in security, like for example, if you're very tired, then it's 22 hours. The door can automatically be able to lock itself if you have connected IoT chips or processors to that. Then our number 41, so that's our answer 41. Convergence in technology means, so convergence means to meet. So convergence in technology has to do with the integration, meaning to say you are putting things together. Integration of technology capabilities into previously unrelated devices. Like for example, when a phone was created, a phone using the landline, it was just for calling. But now you will find that a phone can act as a speaker. It can act as a media player, meaning to say you can play videos. You can also play audios. That's under the media aspect. A phone can act as many things. It can act as a GPS tracker and all that. So that is what we call convergence in technology, which is the integration of technological capabilities into a previous unrelated device. So a phone was never related with a GPS. It wasn't related with audio. It wasn't related with video, but it was just for calling. But they have integrated by now. When we look at our 42, a laptop. What is a laptop? So without wasting time, a laptop is just a thin, lightweight mobile computer with a screen and keyboard. When we look at our 43, a tablet. Tablet is primarily portable. It is able to be carried. That's the meaning. You are able to carry an iPad, or rather a tablet. You are able to carry the tablet, and it is made up of a touch screen. So it is a touch screen, characterized by a touch screen and portability. 44, a smartwatch can. So smartwatch is if you look at a smartwatch, it is a wearable device, meaning to say you can wear it. So it can be worn, and it has got features. So a smartphone has got features. You can make calls, you can send messages, you can view the time, you can also track activities such as how far have you walked in a day. So it is used to answer calls, read messages, track activity when paired with a smartphone. Number 45, streaming allows users to receive audio or video content as it is being downloaded from the web. But this does not mean to say you're actually downloading. No. Streaming, if you're streaming a movie, it simply means to say you're just watching. Now you are downloading from the web, meaning to say the web is sending you like the next part. If let's say if this is a movie, the movie has to reach there. So it is going like that. So the web is constantly sending you new information, but you won't be able to play it offline like that. So that is what streaming is. You are just receive audio or video as it is being downloaded from the web. You are watching, in other words. You can video stream, but you are not actually downloading it to permanently work in your computer like that. Our 46, an activity tracker is a wearable that, so activity tracker, what are you doing, like what are you doing during the day? So it is used in monitoring the heart rate. How is your heart rate? It is used to monitor the steps, and it is used to see your sleeping patterns. Do you sleep for one hour? Do you sleep for 8 hours? And know that, and the number of steps. Are you walking the recommended number of steps? That is an activity tracker. It is mostly used for health purposes. 47, a digital camera. So a digital camera is able to create digital images of objects, people, and scenes. So that is a digital camera. So that is the working of a digital camera like that. When we look at our 48, a handheld gaming device. So a handheld gaming device is any device that can be able to fit in your hand. So that's the main aspect. It should be able to fit in your hand. So it is a small portable designed to fit in your hands. So number 49, green computing involves. So green has to do with the maintenance of a good environment. So it has to do with reducing electricity use and environmental waste from technology. That's green computing. Combining with computing, we are going to say technology. So we are saying reducing electricity use and environmental waste from technology. So that's the answer there. Number 50, organization can reduce waste, electronical waste by. So this is straightforward. So what organizations can do is, let's look at the option. Using outdated savers, no. Let's avoiding recycling, no. Increasing device power consumption, that is contributing. So the answer is this, contributing or consolidating. So consolidating simply means to combine things into a stronger, more effective, or more solid thing. So consolidating servers, using efficient equipment, and allowing communicating. So that is the answer for that one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you would like, subscribe, and share for more. See you in the next tutorial.